Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for being here for Proverbs 31 verses 1 through 9. Today should be relatively short. This chapter is broken into two distinctive parts. Typically I try to aim for the middle of a chapter and break it there, but this one, verses 1 through 9, which we're talking about today, is instruction from a mother to a son about just general life and wisdom, and then verses 10 through 31 is the Proverbs 31 woman that you hear people talk about, or you may have heard people talk about, and it describes an excellent wife. So we'll break that into a separate section and do 10 through 31 tomorrow. It flows pretty well, so we should be able to get through that. But today we'll do 1 through 9. Before we get into that, a couple of quick things. First of all, after Proverbs, I will probably stop producing these videos, at least until God puts something on my heart that I feel like needs to be out here. So, just a forewarning on that, so you're not surprised on Monday when there's not another one. But the plan is to do chapter 31 today and tomorrow, and then call it quits, at least for a little while. Anyway, so Proverbs 31 is written, and you can see in verse 1, it's the words of King Lemuel, an oracle that his mother taught him. So King Lemuel, we're actually not clear as far as whether this is a pet name for Solomon that his mother had for him, and so, kind of in honor for her, since this wisdom is from her, if he used that in this case instead of Solomon, which he is referred to in the rest of the book, or if this is another king in Israel that we're just not sure. So, and it's not necessary to go into it too much. So, anyway, let's pick up in verse 1, the words of King Lemuel, an oracle that his mother taught him. So we talked about that, so we'll go ahead and skip to verse 2. What are you doing, my son? What are you doing, the son of my womb? What are you doing, son of my vows? Do not give your strength to women. Do not give your strength to women, your ways to those who destroy kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, or for rulers to take strong drink, lest they drink and forget what has been decreed and pervert the rights of the afflicted. Give strong drink to those who are... sorry, I lost my place. Give strong drink to the one who is perishing, and wine to those in bitter distress. Let them drink and forget their poverty, and remember their misery no more. And so we'll stop there for now. That was 1 through 7. So anyway, we see in verse 2, she's trying to get his attention. She asks him several times, what are you doing? What are you doing? And refers to him by a couple of different names. Or a couple of different ways. He calls him my son, the first one, and then son of my womb in the second one, and then son of my vows in the third one. So she's basically doing everything she can to make sure she has his attention. And then in verse 3, leading out, it says, do not give your strength to women, your ways to those who destroy kings. So he's warning her against women who destroy kings, wasting physical strength on women that are not, the Proverbs 31 woman, which we'll talk about tomorrow. And so he's warning her not to waste time, not to waste energy on the wrong woman here. And to, look out and point out that, there are women in the kingdom who can destroy him as a king, that, he's referred to as King Lemuel. And so that position can be destroyed by association with the wrong people and the wrong actions. So she is reminding him of that. And then in verse 4, in verses 4 through 7, we talk about drinking. Verse 4, it says, "It's not for kings to drink wine or to take strong drink." The warning here is lest they drink and forget what has been decreed or pervert the rights of the afflicted. So the indication here is that, basically it's not for kings to be drunk, because, you may decree something while you're drunk and not know anything about it tomorrow, or, as a king, part of your job is to enforce what has already been decreed. And if you don't have the ability to recall that and to enforce that, then you are not fulfilling your position. And, it also talks about perverting the rights of the afflicted. In a drunken state, you may not be as concerned about those that are going through issues, and have less empathy. So you would pervert the rights of the afflicted. You wouldn't give them their due rights. In verse 6 it says, "Give strong drink to the one who is perishing, and wine to those in bitter distress. Let them drink and forget their poverty, and remember their misery no more." So I don't think this is a serious request to be drunk at a bitter time, or to encourage drunkenness among those. I think at least my understanding of the way it's written, it's almost sarcasm in that, being drunk and drunkenness is not for a king who has responsibility. Just, pass it off to those that are going through troubles and need the relief. So like I said, I don't think this is encouraging drunkenness within those groups of people that are in distress and in poverty, and who have some type of misery to forget. I don't think it's encouraging that, but it's more discouraging Lemuel from being captivated by it. And then verse 8 and 9, "Open your mouth for the mute, for the rights of those who are destitute." Verse 9, "Open your mouth, judge righteously, defend the rights of the poor and the needy." So it's, his mother here is challenging him to be the voice for those who don't have a voice. This could be physically mute, they're not able to talk. This could be, politically mute. They don't have the ability to speak into a society in a situation like a king does, but their points are valid, and their complaints or suggestions are valid. So she's telling him as the king to step up here and speak for those who can't speak for themselves, and for their rights. And then verse 9, she's telling him as a judge, as a king, to judge righteously, and always defend the rights of the poor and the needy, to make sure to look out for those who are in need, and those who are poor. And so that is verse 9. So we'll wrap there for today. And like I said, tomorrow we'll do 10 through 31, talking about Proverbs 31 woman. And I look forward to seeing you back here then. Thank you. Have a great day.